Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video review. This time we have from Mattel from the new Aquaman movie line with the Trench Warrior being the Collect and Connect figure, Black Manta. So very excited for this. I was really excited for this line in general, especially Black Manta in the line though. I'm really looking forward to this character in the film. I absolutely love the design of the character. They really just took the comic design and just heightened it. You know, they didn't change much, but they just kind of made it a slightly more believable, which is very cool, but we're still keeping the ridiculous elements within it, which is nice. But anyway, here's the package. I do like the package. The blue color scheme for the just regular Mattel series works well for an Aquaman series, I think. You get a nice picture of Manta on the front there. On the side, you get the same image. And on the back, you get your standard image with the Collect and Connect figure being the Trench Warrior, and then the 4 figures that you need to complete him. I'm a big fan of only needing 4 figures. I like that, you know. I think that Mattel does a good job of differentiating themselves from Hasbro in the way they do their Build-A-Figures. So I do enjoy that. I found this figure at Walmart. That's kind of just the only place that people have been finding these series. I found the whole series. They only had one of each character, and I just went ahead and bought the entire series, so I was able to build the Build-A-Figure right away. So the reviews of the other 3 figures, as well as the Build-A-Figure or Collect and Connect figure, are coming soon, and I will do a ranking for the wave as well. So let's get started on the actual figure here. We have Black Manta. Again, really loving this design, very comic accurate, but just, you know, making it, giving the texture of the suit a little bit more realism. However, still keeping all the ridiculous elements of the suit, including that massive, you know, bulky helmet, which I have to say I love. I think it looks super cool. Big fan of it. I do like the way that the movie one has really outlined the eyes. It just makes the eyes pop even more, like they could, you know, you'd think that they couldn't pop anymore, but now they just outlined it and made it just that much more in your face. So I absolutely love that. I think it's wonderful. The blacks they use on the suit, it's a darker black, which I do like. There are some different shades of blacks too, which is nice, like what outlines the eyes, and on top of the head, it's a little bit more of a glossy black, while the rest of it has more of a matte, almost kind of like a charcoal black, but I do think that it looks nice. Some of the tubes almost have like a silver kind of aspect to them, same thing with like the bottom of the vents in the jetpack area. The jetpacks are on a swivel, so you can rotate them a little bit, not a ton, but a little bit, which is quite nice. This hand does have like a knife protruding from it. I will say, like, mine's really bent, which is disappointing, you know. That's just kind of an issue with some of the Mattel figures, is like the bent swords and stuff. But also one thing I don't like is how little the blade is. The blade doesn't look very large. Now there's this series, the Mattel Multiverse, you know, series, which is more collector friendly or slightly more collector friendly. And then there's like the standard toy line, which I did also pick out that Black Manta simply because I was impatient and I couldn't find this Black Manta. But I wanted a Black Manta figure real bad, so I decided just to pick up the regular figure just to kind of hold me over a little bit. And that figure, I think, does the sword a lot better. First of all, it's not as bent, like it's really quite straight actually, and then it's much longer. Like, this seems more the length that this should be, and also, you know, this Black Manta figure is smaller than the Multiverse one, so I wish that you can kind of just switch their blades. I think they'd look a lot better on each other. Same with the swords. Now the sword is about the same size on the 2 of them. I do like the silver detailing on the around the blade though on this version as opposed to this one, but I like the handle better on this one. So there are some ups and downs because this one's handle is really way too big. The handle, I like it being smaller like that, but again, I like the silver outline on the blade. So you know, although this figure obviously should be a lot better in every way, there are some aspects where the other figure is slightly better or more superior, and I'll get into that in more detail as soon as we get down to the legs. But overall, I like the torso. He does kind of have a thinner waist that does bulk up a bit. He has a massive head, though. The head, in proportion to the regular figure, is much larger, as you can see. Like, this one's head is much bigger proportionate to its body than the other one is. And I have to say, I like that a lot better. I think that looks a lot cooler, so I am a fan of that. Now, when it comes to the legs, this is the big issue with this figure, is that his thighs are very strange. First of all, it looks like Mattel has moved to the ball-jointed thighs instead of the kind of hinged swivel thighs that they were going with for a while, which is nice. I have to say that's an improvement, but it's just so weird how they did it, like, because he's got like a regular looking thigh and then just the towards, just when you get a little bit further down from the thigh, you get this like massive piece that comes up. He just has like the biggest thunder thighs in the most awkward way too. He just looks so weird. I will say that's not a problem with this figure. This figure looks like he's got a normal leg going on, so it's weird the way they did it. Wish that they would bulk up the top of the thighs more, or just bulk down the bottom of the thighs. I mean, just kind of even it out, guys. You know, it's an easy fix. So it's ridiculous that could get across, you know, from a design perspective, because it looks a little silly. It's not the end of the world in my opinion, but it is still a little silly. Then when you go down, the legs are very nice. I do like the kind of jet boosters right here. It would be cool if they like painted the bottom of these red or something. That would be cool. But overall, I think the figure is quite nice. As far as articulation, it's quite well as too. I haven't collected a Mattel figure in a while. I typically only do the movie ones for the most part. So it's you know, been since Wonder Woman, or no, sorry, since Justice League, since I've really bought any of these. So I don't know if they just updated with this series or they updated a while ago, but some of the articulation's updated. He has a ball jointed head, a little hindered at the back. Wish he could look up more, I have to say, but he can look side to side and he can even tilt his head a little bit, which is nice. Ball hinge shoulders with the bicep swivel. Hinge that also swivels, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, a hinge swivel at the elbow. So you have like two swivels there. Unnecessary, but hey, I'll take it. On this side, this hose is attached to the back, so you have a little bit more of limitations as far as where you can put his arm. Then he has swivel hinge wrists, which is very nice. If I'm not mistaken, the hinge is new. That's something that they haven't been using much. He has an ab crunch, which works okay. It doesn't really go forward anymore. It goes back a little bit though. Nothing spectacular though. Swivel at the waist, ball jointed hips. Again, like it's the same range basically as your other version. It's just it's a much better looking joint. But he has like some serious range on those. So like look at that. He can do a full split. It's one of the best ranges sidewise I've seen on a ball jointed thigh. It's very intense. He's got a swivel at the thigh, double hinge knees, which work quite nicely. And then, like I think that's improved too. Usually they're just single hinge. And then you have hinge pivoting ankles. They finally have included pivots at Mattel. Thank goodness. That's a long time coming. So I'm very happy with this. Articulation has really been stepped up by Mattel, and I'm very impressed. And again, I don't know if they've stepped it up a while ago and I'm just finding it out now, or if they do or if it is just like this Aquaman is the first series where they have like introduced this new style of articulation. Either way, I am quite happy, I must admit. But yeah, you can you know, achieve some solid poses now. My only issue is the thighs tend to be slightly loose in some aspects. Not a ton by any means, but it is something that I did notice that it's slightly loose. And then here he is just with another figure from the wave, just your standard Aquaman figure. Just so you can see the two of them together. I have him crouching a bit though, but yeah, they're in scale. They look nice together. Overall, I think this is a great great figure in the series, and overall, I think the series is quite nice too. So I think that's just quite a win. I'm very happy with this new toy line. I think that this is a really nice figure in the line as well, and I would highly recommend it to any DCU and particularly Aquaman fans. This is a solid line in general. Like this wave is really solid. It's probably one of the best waves I've seen in a while. I really enjoyed the Wonder Woman one, but not all the characters in that wave were like super exciting. The characters in this wave though are all really exciting. So it's a great win. So overall, really happy with this figure. Happy with the line in general. Stay tuned for more of my reviews from the series, as well as my ranking video of the series, and then my review of the Collect and Connect figure. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of Black Manta, and thanks so much for watching.